Hey everybody, it's Tammy Washington here, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you about something that's very, very important to your success, and that is the power of your relationships. So as you guys are going out and you're meeting new people, I really want you to focus on building extremely powerful relationships because you're going to need it as you're going through this journey called success. And there are three different types of relationships that I think you really want to focus on if you want to truly be successful. The first is you got to work on your mentors. So if there's anything that you want to do in this life, you have to have a mentor. You have to have somebody who's already been where you want to go and they're willing to show you the way. And guess what? There are mentors out there all over the place, but they're just waiting and wanting you to ask them for the help and the support. So the first thing that you got to understand is that you deserve to have a mentor. A lot of you are walking around thinking, well, nobody will help me. I have to do everything all myself and no one wants to help me. You deserve to have a mentor because you deserve to be successful. So get that out of your mind and realize today that, hey, I'm going to go out and get a mentor. So here are a couple of things that can help you with that. Number one, you want to make sure that you know who's at the top of the game and whatever it is that you want to do. So make a list of maybe the top 5 people who are doing exactly what you want to do, and they're doing it in a way that you want to do it. Because here's the thing, there are a lot of successful people out there, but they have terrible relationships or they have terrible personal lives. Like they're just evil people. You don't want to be like those people. So find out who's doing it, but also doing it in the way that you want to see it done in your own life. So get like 5. And don't filter. Don't say, oh, well, I'll never be able to meet this person, because guess what? If you say that, then you won't. I don't believe anybody's really out of my reach. I just have to believe that there's a way that I can get to that person. So when I first started, the first person's name that was on the top of my list was Les Brown, because he is the most powerful, amazing, motivational speaker on the planet. Absolutely, hands down, he is the best at what he does. And I said, I want to work with Les Brown. So you got to set the intention and know who it is that you want to work with. Number 2, when I decided that I was going to work with Les Brown and somehow I was going to be mentored by him, I didn't have any leads whatsoever. But a couple of months after I made that decision, that's the key, you got to make the decision that it will happen. A couple of months after I made that decision, he had a class in Los Angeles. And so I decided that I was going to go and take his class. That's the second thing that I want you guys to understand. A lot of times, the reason why you're having a hard time finding a mentor is because you have a gimme, 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 gimme attitude. You're going out and you're asking people for things before you've invested in what they find important. Right? So I paid to go to his class. So look at how can you invest, even if it's donating to the person's charity or something, find some way to invest in them before you ask for any help from them. So I went to the class and it was an amazing class. I learned a ton. And honestly, at that point, I thought that that was going to be it. I was like, okay, I got to meet him. This is great. I took a picture. I was like, woohoo, yay, I met Les Brown. Maybe this is as far, I can check it off the list. Couple of months later, I am traveling to Orlando, Florida, going there to train some employees. And I'm walking through first class, talking on the phone to my mom, and Les Brown is sitting there. And I'm like, Mom, hold on. So I'm like, Les Brown, oh my gosh, Mr. Brown, thank you so much. I took your class a couple months ago. It's changed my career. It's transformed my speaking. I just want to say I love you so much. And I just want to say thank you. And he was just like overwhelmed and overjoyed, and he's like, oh, you're very welcome, no problem, listen, give me your card, so we exchanged cards. I went back to my seat in coach, and I thought to myself, man, that was really cool, that was amazing. I got to actually have another conversation with Les Brown. This is great. He ain't never gonna call me. It's fine, it's good. We landed in Orlando, Florida. I get off the plane, I grab my luggage, and I'm walking towards the elevator. I see the elevator almost closing. I'm like, hold on, and I run into the elevator. Who's standing there? Les Brown. The power in setting an intention. I'm just saying, you guys, set an intention. So Les Brown's standing in the elevator, and he goes, okay, all right, now I really got to talk to you now. This is twice in one day. That's kind of weird, right? And so he's like, so tell me who you are, right? So I had 3 minutes, literally an elevator pitch, right? And so I'm talking to him and I'm telling him a little bit about, my speaking and my book and what I'm doing. And he's like, you know what? This sounds really interesting and I want to hear more. Listen, I'm speaking at an engagement. You're out here training. Why don't we get together for coffee? One of the days that you're here and you can ask me anything that you want. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. So we the next day, that evening, after both of our speaking engagements, everything, we get together for coffee and he sits down and the first thing that he says is, let me see your keynote address. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now the key is I had a keynote. So that's the third thing that I want you guys to understand. When it comes to asking people who are at the top of their game to help you and support you, you've got to be ready. You've got to have something already going on. You're not starting from scratch here, right? So I was prepared, even though I never knew I was going to have to do that. So I did my keynote for him. He gave me amazing feedback. He's like, change this, move this around, use this quote here. This speech here is you're gonna be speaking for years using this speech because it's gonna be so good, And I was just absolutely floored. And so at the end of the conversation, he let me ask him anything that I wanted. I asked him how it was that he was so great. He told me the answer. And the key is, though, at the end of the conversation, I was just like, but okay, so I got my speech now. He helped me. He didn't have to do that, but I need a little bit more. I'm like, I need actual mentoring. And so I asked him, I said, Les, would you be willing to mentor me? I would love to continue working with you. And he's like, do you know how busy I am? Do you know how many people want to work with me? Like, no, listen, take the speech. It's good. Write your second book or whatever it is that you're going to be working on next. And don't worry. I can already tell that you've got a lot of greatness in you. One day you're going to be able to tell people that you mentored with me. Just, not right now. And I looked at him and I said, no less. One day you're going to tell people that you mentored Tammy Washington. I don't know where that came from. Like, I am not the most confident person in the world, but when I see something that I want, I go after it with everything that I have. And so when I made that comment, he burst out laughing and he's like, oh my gosh. He was like, I'm going to mentor you. He was like, you're a little spitfire. He was like, yeah, I'm going to mentor you. I had confidence, even though I was speaking to the person who I deem to be the greatest in my industry. So you've got to have confidence in yourself. You have to have confidence in your own abilities when you're approaching somebody and saying, can you help me? And that mentoring relationship, I can honestly say, platformed my success, definitely helped me to become a better speaker and a better human being. Les Brown is probably one of the greatest humans that I know. And so go out, buy all of his products. If there's an opportunity for you to go see him speak someplace, please go speak. That's my little spiel on Les Brown. But the point of the matter is you have to have a mentor if you want to be successful. You got to be able to learn from somebody who's already done what it is that you want to do. The second thing, guys, is you got to have a mastermind. So if you have not read Think and Grow Rich yet, go out, buy Think and Grow Rich. That was when I first learned about masterminds, when I first read that book. Now, masterminds, basically, you're talking about a group of people getting together and you helping each other be more successful. There are professional masterminds that you can pay to be a part of. That's a little bit different because there's coaching involved. But if you're talking about just a mastermind with you and your friends, the whole key, the purpose is you guys are helping each other to be better in your success, right? So you can do that any way that you want to. Get a group of people together that are like-minded and you guys start meeting once a week. If you can't do once a week, do once a month, but meet together with somebody to work on your goals because you got to pull each other up along the way. That's how you're going to... Whoever you surround yourself with, that's who you're going to be like in every area of your life. So make sure that you and your friends, the people around you, you're all growing together. So quick little story about that. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I came out here because I wanted to be an actor. So when you're an actor, usually you go on sets, you do background work. That's the people that you see walking around in the background of the movie. And I remember one day being on set and getting all upset because I was looking at the actors, like the stars of the film. And I'm like, oh, so they all hang out together, they're too good to talk to the rest of us. And, oh, they're all buddy, like they're best friends and that kind of thing. And I was talking to one of my friends who's a producer about this. And he goes, no, you don't understand. those people didn't get famous and then they became friends. He said those people became friends when they were doing background work. And as they grew up in the business, as one got a job, they would help the other person. As one got a writing job, that person would help, tell the casting director, oh, hire my friend, so they helped each other along the way, so that now that they're all in the limelight, now they're all friends because they started off as friends. And he was like, so you don't need to be jealous or envious of what's happening with them. What you need to do is focus on these people who are sitting back here and learn how you guys can start creating and producing and doing things together so that you build each other up. And that was one of the greatest lessons I learned about not envying other people, but focusing on your own success and helping to build each other up. So have a mastermind, have a group of people that's helping you get to the next level. Thirdly, you got to have a mentee. Why? Because you're not in this world just to take. You're in this world to give. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people who have gotten successful and then you ask them, can I ask you a question? Or is it okay if I ask you something about your business? And they're like, oh no, you got to pay me for that information. And it's like, really? Huh? So anybody who asks me a question, like, I will happily answer anything that I can or direct them to somebody who can. Have a mentee, have somebody that you're giving back to, because again, you don't want somebody having to make the same mistakes that you made. And guess what? If you have your mentor in front of you, you got your mastermind around you, taking you along, and you got your mentee that you're pulling up along the way, you've got powerful relationships and you can't go wrong. It's like a train. Like, you're surrounded by love. You're surrounded by power. You are surrounded by people who are going to be taking you to the next level. And if any of you have questions about how to get a mentor, how to start a mastermind, I want you guys to check out my book, Nailed It, Be It, Do It, Achieve It. It's on Amazon, and it gives you outline step by step how you can set up a mentoring and mastermind situation.
I'm a god, stalker. I love my life. 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 No, now we don't know where tomorrow might bring, 'cause the future, the hours away. So me, I live my life today.